DylanLasagna. It's DylanLasagna here, and welcome to my Raw reactions for the July 11th episode, 2016, which was a pretty entertaining episode for this week, considering the July 4th episode. So with that being said, let's talk about Raw. So the first thing I wanted to address in my Raw reactions was the main event segment, where Vince McMahon came out to address the whole Smackdown Commissioner situation, which Stephanie and Shane are already in the ring, and they addressed their pleas to convince McMahon to be why they want to be the Smackdown Commissioner. Stephanie's like, hey, it's all business. I want to run SmackDown my way, not for these bitches out here in the crowd, not for the WWE Universe, because I'm daddy's little sweetheart, and I feel like what I do is best for business. And how I've been running things on Raw lately, since we've done things with the Authority, is best for business for SmackDown. And Shane McMahon's just like, that's bullshit. I feel, since I came back to the WWE, I feel like it's been what the WWE Universe wants. We need change. We need a fresh pace. A breath of fresh air. We need to let their voices be heard. New matches, fresh rivalries on SmackDown. Keeping it fresh. And that's why 5 months ago, I was the one to represent change. And Vince McMahon is very convinced, because earlier in the segment, he was mad. He was very pissed at the two because they were all hugs and smiles and getting along with each other for the past, 2 months? And he wanted them to be the opposite and be like their old selves, arguing against each other and competing against each other. So, what does he do? He appoints, drumroll please, Shane McMahon as your SmackDown Commissioner. And guess what's coming next? Stephanie McMahon is your new Raw Commissioner in a somewhat anticlimactic finish to Raw. But with a twist. There's still going to be 2 general managers for Raw and SmackDown. So wait, how does that work? Does that mean Stephanie and Shane don't get to make the matches and the general manager does? Or I don't know how. We'll find out when the draft comes, when Raw comes next Monday. We'll wait and see. But otherwise, I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for Raw this Monday. It's going to be a very exciting week for WWE next week. Seth Rollins came out for his very first report of the Rollins Report, in which he would report the truth about Roman Reigns' suspension, which is basically just clips piled up from his previous sit-down interviews with Michael Cole. It's just to make him look bad in front of the WWE Universe, which everyone cheered for. Everyone was actually buying into Seth Rollins' bullshit. And he goes on to say that that's proof that I should deserve a one-on-one match and Roman Reigns should be tossed out of the triple threat at Battleground. And which brings out Dean Ambrose predictably and saying, enough is enough. Seth, you need to shut your mouth. But hey, at least you're having fun right now, making fun of Roman Reigns. But enough is enough. And Seth Rollins goes to say, you know what, Dean? I think you're scared. You're scared of me. You're waiting for that triple threat, so you and Roman can gang up on me, and you can steal the pin on Roman and retain the title. You know you can't beat me one-on-one, because every time we face each other one-on-one, I've always beaten you. And this really angers Dean Ambrose to the point where he cuts an epic promo. He gets really serious about how he's a fighting champion. He wants to fight Seth Rollins. He wants to prove to the world that he's the better man of the Shield. He's the better man against Seth Rollins. Maybe even Roman Reigns. He wants to prove to the world that he is a legitimate WWE champion. And he challenges Seth Rollins to a WWE title match that night. But Seth Rollins is just like, yeah, you want to see it? Fuck you guys. We're going to have the WWE title match next week. And yes, we are going to have that match next week. The club couldn't beat up John Cena last night because, well, John Cena wasn't there. He was in LA rehearsing for the ESPYs on Wednesday, which I actually might watch. Anyway, so they decided to beat up Enzo and Cass. And the reason why Enzo and Cass decided to join John Cena in the fight against the club is because if they wanted to take John Cena's place as the face of the company or the top superstars in the company, they were going to earn it. Not like what the club was doing by beating up John Cena. Anyway, Anderson and Gallows have a match against the club, which was pretty fun. They had a pretty good fun match. It was a preview of their 6-man tag team match at Battleground. But then, after a rocket launcher by Enzo and Cass on Carl Anderson, AJ Styles decides to ruin the match by throwing Big Cass into the crowd, disqualifying the club. And then the club decided to try to gang up on Enzo Amore until Juice! Super Cena's here, bitches! I'm not suffering from jet lag! Here comes John Cena to save the day. He runs off the club with the help of his friends Enzo and Cass, and they are standing tall for the second week in a row. And hopefully the club gets the upper hand next week on Raw, or eventually Battleground. And I just gave away one of my predictions for Battleground. The New Day had this strange segment with the Wyatt family, as WWE mentioned last week, where they would go to the Wyatt Family compound, so to test their power of positivity. And everyone was saying it was like the final deletion match between Matt and Jeff Hardy on TNA. I actually want to watch that match. Everyone was saying it was great, but yet strange. This segment was very strange too, but everyone was saying it wasn't as strange, and WWE copied Matt and Jeff Hardy's final deletion. I mean, they were throwing each other into cars. Big E and Kofi were getting suplexed and chokeslammed into mud and cars. Even Bray Wyatt tried to axe Xavier Woods. He even tried, are you trying to kill him? This is not a horror movie. This is not PG. And then he knocked out Xavier Woods. He pickaxed the car in which Xavier Woods was in. And then I think he was trying to set it on fire with Xavier Woods in it. But then Big E and Kofi saved the day. But then they were all scared at the end because all the lights, all the buzzards, all the sheepmen were there with their lanterns. And they were just they ran away at the end. Which was a pretty strange segment on Raw. Oh my goodness. But I want to see how very strange the final deletion is. Sasha Banks battled Dana Brooke on Raw, which was a pretty okay match. But Dana Brooke, man, she's so sloppy in the ring. She couldn't keep up with Sasha's wrestling ability. I don't know, if Sasha yelling at her was part of the storyline or the match, or if that was Sasha legit yelling at her, you can't wrestle, bitch! Anyway, Sasha made Dana tap out with a bank statement, and after the match, Charlotte was not impressed by Sasha Banks. Charlotte was telling her, oh, you got a victory against Dana, so what? I want you to prove your worth again. This Thursday on SmackDown. How? By facing Dana Brooke again. Why? If you want to prove your worth as Charlotte's the more contender, Charlotte has to make her face someone else other than Dana Brooke. Is there no one else on the roster? Oh yeah, that's right. All they have right now is Paige, Naomi, who hasn't been on TV for who knows how long. Summer Rae, and that's all you have right now because Becky Lynch and Natalya are in a feud right now, which wasn't even showcased this week. Anyway, Charlotte makes a match between Sasha and Dana again this Thursday on SmackDown, which I'm not looking forward to, so Sasha can prove her worth against Charlotte for her Women's Championship, which sucks. There's a 20-man battle royal to determine the Mrs. Number 1 contender for Battleground. And how are we going to make it great? Let's make Darren Young win this battle royal. And Darren Young wasn't even dominating the battle royal. It was all Baron Corbin, from from the beginning. Like, he eliminated almost half of the competitors in the Battle Royal. Even Dolph Ziggler. He tried to go for a Famouser and then splat! Baron Corbin, like, threw him into the ground. And then it came down to Darren Young, Apollo Crews, and Baron Corbin. And Apollo Crews was about to eliminate Baron Corbin, but then Apollo Crews forgot this was a Battle Royal. And he eliminated himself. And Baron Corbin. He went for an arm drag, but he forgot to hold on to the ropes. Dumbass. And he eliminated both him and Baron Corbin. And Darren Young had no idea what was going on. The bell rang, and he was just like... And Bob Backlund was just like, yeah, we're gonna make Darren Young great again. He won the Battle Royal. Oh my God! And he was like hella overexcited. He wanted to hug Darren Young, and the Miz was just like, oh yeah, okay, all right, I'm still the champ. Bring it on, motherfucker. And a minute later. 2 minutes later, people were chanting, Darren Young, Darren Young, Darren Young. And people were actually buying into this make Darren Young great again. It's like, holy crap. It's like, this thing might actually work. Like, better than the Shining Star shit bullshit. It's like, will I buy into the make Darren Young great again? It's like, will all these promos pay off? It might. We'll wait and see at Battleground. We'll wait and see. Zack Ryder once again challenged Rusev for the United States Championship for Battleground, like he did on SmackDown. But then Sheamus decided to interrupt because, well, they have a scheduled match next, and a rematch from SmackDown, which Zack Ryder won. And it wasn't as good as their match on SmackDown because, guess what? Sheamus won. And how exactly does Zack Ryder deserve a title shot? Oh yeah, he won he got the winning pinfall from last week's 16-man elimination tag team match for the 4th of July episode. And this brings out Rusev. He's marching to the ring. And he's gonna lock in that Accolade version 2 where he breaks your back in half. And Zack Ryder was tapping. And Rusev saying, I accept your challenge! Russian stuff. And we have a match at Battleground for the United States title. Rusev versus Zack Ryder. Will Zack Ryder get crushed? Or will Zack Ryder get the upset win over Rusev? We'll find out in 2 weeks. And we'll find out in 1 week when I do my Battleground predictions. Right here on this channel. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn continued their feud and their build-up for Battleground by Kevin Owens having Sami Zayn banned from ringside and from commentary during his match against Cesaro. And it was a pretty fun match and entertaining because every time these two step in the ring, Cesaro and Kevin Owens, they always put on a show-stealing match. I forgot who won here. I think it was, oh yes, Kevin Owens with that swinging neck breaker. Is that like his new finish, like his second finisher, or was this temporary? Yeah, I think it was just temporary. But then he goes on to gloat some more. He gloats to Byron Saxton again because he hates Byron Saxton and Michael Cole. But here comes Sami Zayn to beat down Kevin Owens for getting him banned from ringside, even though he got approval from Shane McMahon, but then he got disapproval from Stephanie McMahon. And then he throws him back into the ring for a Cesaro swing because Sami Zayn asked Cesaro to do so. And then Sami Zayn gets the upper hand. I honestly wish they put a stipulation because if they just have a singles match by Battleground, I'm not going to be as excited for it. Oh yeah, I can't forget to talk about the pointless stuff that happened on Raw. We had the Lucha Dragons go up against Febreze. Oh wait, it's Breezango. Because if WWE gives them the tag team name Febreze, then they'll get sued by the company that makes Febreze products. And Febreze gets the win, and nobody cared. And then Titus O'Neil defeated Heath Slater. Nobody cared. Overall, lasagnas, this was a pretty good and entertaining episode of Raw. It sets up like next week's events for WWE. The draft, the Raw before the draft, and maybe Battleground, even Battleground. Because next week on Raw, we get a WWE Championship match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And we won't know who will be the WWE Champion heading into Battleground. And we have the draft. We don't know who will be on which brand. And there's a rumor like that WWE's mobile app accidentally leaked out that Daniel Bryan could be possibly the general manager of SmackDown as picked by Shane McMahon. If that is true by next week, I'm excited to see Daniel Bryan back on TV as our general manager for SmackDown. But if Triple H is our general manager for Raw, I'm not going to be happy to see the Authority again. But that's another time to discuss, like draft, like talking about the draft. Maybe I might do a draft, like WWE draft, like predictions, like thoughts tomorrow, like in another separate video. Maybe tomorrow or later this week. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the draft, like Raw, Battleground. Man, this is going to be a great week for WWE next week. I'm excited. And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. No pun intended for AJ Styles. Anyway, lasagnas, I hope you guys enjoyed my Raw reactions. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below for your Raw reactions. I obviously take the time to read it. I honestly do. I take the time to read your guys' Raw reactions. And also, in the comments below, leave your guys' predictions for the WWE Draft. Who's your guys' number one pick? Like, who will be the upset pick? Who will be the general managers for Raw and SmackDown? And which championships will go to which brand? And all those kind of draft question stuff. Leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on all my social media links. They're in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video. And always be delicious.